From forge to glory, the blacksmith who conquered the impossible dreams. The blacksmith's son and his royal dream. In a small European village during the Middle Ages lived a young boy named Thomas. He was the son of a hard-working blacksmith who had spent his entire life in the heat of the forge, the sound of the hammer, his constant companion. Life in the village was simple and tough. People eked out a living from the land and their livestock. But Thomas's heart yearned for something more than the daily grind. The birth of a dream. Since childhood, Thomas had been captivated by the grand castle that loomed on the horizon. He would spend hours gazing at it, imagining the lives of the nobles who lived within its towering walls. He always dreamed of one day stepping inside its imposing gates. But whenever he shared his dream with others, they would laugh and say, "A boy like you belongs in the village. Castles are for lords and ladies." Yet their words did not dampen his spirit. Every night, while others slept, Thomas would pore over his grandfather's old books on metalworking and blacksmithing. He believed that skill and talent could be the bridge to any dream. A golden opportunity. Years later, news spread through the village that the king was preparing for a great battle and was in search of a blacksmith to create a special, unique armor for his soldiers. This was the chance Thomas had been waiting for. But his father was against it, saying, "Thomas, this is not for us. Blacksmithing is our way of life, not a path to glory." Determined, Thomas spent every night practicing in secret. He redesigned armor, welded metals with skill, and learned from every mistake. His hands blistered by day, and exhaustion consumed him by night. But he persevered. A difficult path. When the king's representative arrived in the village, Thomas seized his opportunity. With a heart full of both excitement and fear, he presented his finest piece of armor. The representative examined it and exclaimed, "Whose work is this?" Thomas replied confidently, "It's mine, sir." The representative smiled and said, "Very well, you must come to the castle. Perhaps we see something in you that others do not." Journey to the castle and trials. The journey to the castle was like entering another world for Thomas. The castle he had always admired from afar was now before his eyes. At the castle, the experienced court blacksmiths mocked him. They said, "A village boy? You can't create anything worthy of the king." But Thomas, with his confidence and skill, went to work. Day and night he labored. Each piece of armor he created was subjected to rigorous tests. It was set on fire, struck with heavy blows, and used in mock battles. Every time, Thomas's armor proved to be stronger and lighter. With his intelligence and talent, he impressed everyone. A great victory. One day, the prince, who had been closely observing Thomas's work, said to the king, "Father, this young man has something that others do not. Look at him. His will is stronger than steel." The king ordered Thomas to create a suit of armor for him personally. Thomas worked tirelessly for weeks and finally created a piece of armor that was not only light, but also incredibly strong. Upon seeing it, the king smiled and said, "This young man is the future of the kingdom. From now on, he will be the royal blacksmith." A triumphant return. When Thomas returned to his village, he was no longer just a blacksmith's son. He was an inspiration to all the young people. He had shown everyone that beyond limitations, hope, effort, and belief in one's abilities could change a life. His father, who had always told him his dreams were unattainable, now looked at his son with pride and tears in his eyes. A lesson for life. Thomas not only found his place in the king's court, but also established blacksmith workshops throughout the kingdom, helping other young people pursue their dreams. He always said, "True wealth and success lie in effort, patience, and belief in one's abilities." Would you like me to continue the story, or perhaps explore a different aspect of it?